What's up, everybody? It's your boy Sports Dad back with another live session. Listen, we're going to get into it. In this session, I want to talk about Nick Saban. There has been some noise that has been going on, some things that he said that have caused some rumbling in the college football world. And let me tell you, there has been some unhappy campers and from a college coach perspective, and we're going to get into that. But before we do, I want to take a little bit time just to talk a little bit to bring some clarity to things, because on my last live session, I had a guy by the name of Jason Byers that was actually commenting on my content, in which I definitely appreciate, and I welcome all that, the feedback, the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? And the questions and things of that nature. And he came with some really, really great points that I want to talk about. He did reach out to me in my inbox, and we have been playing phone tag, and we haven't been able to quite connect. But at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure that in some way, shape, or form, maybe in the future, that there will be time for a conversation. But in the meantime, what I want to do is definitely revisit the topic at hand. We were actually talking about, I mentioned in my content about the transfer portal. I was talking about the transfer portal and how that the transfer portal has decreased, has a definitely affect the high school recruiting in a negative way, right? Because the transfer portal has become the first option, because the players are already experienced, bigger, faster, stronger, 18 versus 22. So now the transfer portal has become the number one option. And some may even say that it's a free agency. So, but we'll talk a little bit about that. And he was actually making some comments. So I want to take a deep dive into that and bring some clarity to things. Okay. The first comment that he said, and I'm going to bring it up on the screen right now. The first comment he said was that Division I schools don't give partials. This is what he said. He says no Division I schools do not give partials. It's either full scholarship or nothing. D1 schools have 85 full scholarships to give out. FCS has 63 scholarships and can split them up. D2 has 36 to divide. So I want to talk a little bit about that, right? I think that's a great point that he actually brought up. And here's what I believe that he meant by that. There are two types of scholarships athletically that happens in the college world, right? You have one scholarship that's considered a head count scholarship. And then you have another scholarship that's considered an equivalency scholarship, right? The head count scholarship offers typically happens at the FBS level, the Division I FBS level, right? And at the Division I FBS level, those are considered full ride scholarships. So at the Division I level, FBS head count, that is considered a full ride. So if you get an offer in the FBS by Division I school, that's more than likely a head count, a full ride scholarship. Now, the equivalency, which is typically given by Division I FCS, right? And so in the FCS, they have the ability to do what? Give partials, right? They have the ability to give you a partial, right? So the equivalency is partial scholarships. Head count scholarships are full ride scholarships. So to actually bring just somewhat level of clarity to his comment, in the FBS, you're right, they're not giving out partial scholarships. But in the FCS Division I, they are. Division I schools do participate in giving out partial scholarship. It depends on the conference that you're actually being recruited in. So I want to tap into the latter part of that comment as well. The latter part of the comment, he said that D1 schools have 85 full scholarships to give out, and FCS have 63 scholarships they can give out. So he's absolutely correct. Or he said that they can have 63 scholarships that they can actually split up or whatnot. He's absolutely correct in that regard. I believe in that statement, but I think we need to take a deeper dive into the 85 and the 63 number. Okay. So on last week, I actually did a post on my TikTok that was talking about the Division I Council actually lifting or removing or waiving the 25 limit of scholarships per team, right? So I think this is a good opportunity to go ahead and revisit that. Why don't we go ahead and play that clip? Check this out. Ladies and gentlemen, Sports Dad Seth here with your recruiting information. Listen, there's been a big announcement that's been brought to my attention that the D1 Council, the NCAA, has waived for the next 2 academic years, right? For the next 2 years, they have waived the scholarship limit per team. It was 25 scholarships allowed per team before. It is now 85 scholarships allowed, right? That is huge. Why did this happen? Well, when the transfer portal became available, I played that video for a reason, to talk about the D1 Council waiving the 25 scholarship limit. Okay, that's the actual limit that there are allotted per year that they can actually have to go and recruit. In total, they were not allowed to go over that 85 number. So they may have scholarships. They may have 60 scholarships already on the team or whatnot from recruiting over the years. But then within the next every year that happens or whatnot, they're allotted 25 scholarships that they can award, that they can give out. Right. But they can't go over that 85 limit. So in total, yes, 85, but they're not given 85 on a yearly basis. They were only given 25. And then back in October, I believe it was in 2021, they were allowed to go over it by 7. So which would take them to 32. And so I believe at some point that they were allotted to go over by 7, which took them up to 32 instead of 25. But it still was becoming difficult because they could not go over the 85 limit. Most of that 85 is already taken up, right, and given to students already. So, but they have 25 scholarships that they can give out, but they can't go over that 85. For an example, so if they already have 60 players on the roster that are scholarship students, then that means that they have 25 more scholarships that they are allotted to give without going over that 85, because that actually puts them at the 85, right? So they can have 70 scholarship players already on the roster and then have 25 scholarships available to give. But if they give that 25, then that will put them over that 85, and they are not allowed to do that. But with that recent post, now that the NCAA has waived that 25, and for the next 2 academic years, there's only 2 academic years that they can actually take advantage now and get 85 scholarships. So for the next 2 years, they have waived that 25 limit. They have waived that limit of 25, and now it has been boosted to 85. Now they have 85 scholarships that are available that they can give out for the next 2 academic years. And that's only because of the transfer portal, because so many players have gone into the transfer portal, and now they want to be able to allow these college coaches to replace their players, right, without having that 85 or that 25 number or that 25 scholarship number in mind. In which that's a great segue to talk about Nick Saban. I believe that the reason why the NCAA, the D1 Council stepped in and waived the 25 limit was because of coaches like Nick Saban. Nick Saban is an unhappy camper. He has been talking ever since the recruiting, ever since the transfer portal has started. He has been on fire, and he hasn't been shy about his comments about the portal. Let's take a look.
Nick, you have such a highly competitive team. Guys are always thinking about maybe transferring when they're young. What's your message to them to try to get them to stay when they are considering that?
Do you have some proof of this, or is this just a speculation on your part, or a generalization, or something you read on the internet? Or, I mean, nobody's came and talked to me about transferring yet. So, I mean,
you've had young quarterbacks transfer in the past. Like, what's your message to them?
Well, you know, I think that the thing that I try to get guys to do is not have an unrealistic reality about their circumstance and their career as a football player, what they want to try to accomplish, you know, as a student and developing a career off the field, what kind of person that they want to be. And I think with all the information out there, sometimes that's a little bit easy to get a little unrealistic about, because basically, you know, every athlete, every guy, when you're a senior in high school. You have goals and aspirations and things that you want to accomplish. But when it comes to developing your career, you're rolling the dice as how that works out. All right, how you're able to compete, how you're able to sustain, what kind of player you're going to be. And it makes it even more difficult because, all the people out there that are the so-called experts on scout.com and all the people who give them 5 stars, they create an expectation for these guys which is unrealistic. So it's an unrealistic reality, that world that we live in with a lot of young players, and I feel badly for them, because what I like for them to do is just focus on what they need to do to be good players and not worry about trying to meet all the expectations and standards that people have created for them. And I think in some cases that contributes to guys making not great decisions about what they do in terms of their future, whether it's transferring when maybe they shouldn't, or like we had a couple guys transfer, they'd be starting here now. I mean, they hadn't started any place else yet. So what good did it do? But we love for everybody to be in the program. We love for everybody to finish the program. Sometimes when guys see that they may not have an opportunity to play, they got to weigh the fact of, is playing more important someplace else where I think I have a better opportunity to play than it is to stay here and be a part of this program. We encourage them to stay here and be a part of the program. It's not personal. I help guys go other places if I think that's going to help their career, and that's what they want to do, and that's the best thing for them. So, it's just a part of the business I think we all have to deal with.
So as you can see, he was not happy about the actual transfer portal. And this is why I believe that this is causing an uproar in the college world, and especially for coaches like Nick Saban. Nick Saban is considered like the GOAT in regards to college football coaching, right? A lot of players would love to go to Alabama and play for Nick Saban. So I feel like this is an opportunity for him to flex a little bit. I feel like he feels some kind of way because his voice is not being heard. You guys have went ahead and opened up this transfer portal. Now it's becoming a free agency. You guys have did the NIL, and so you approved the NIL. So now these players can make money, and now these coaches are actually putting together NIL deals to get these guys to commit and things like that. And now it's like a total free agency for college football. And how are we ever supposed to gain faithful players through that process, right? And so he's upset, and he's letting his voice being heard. That's why he's lashing out at all the coaches. He lashed out at Texas A&M, saying that they bought all their players, right, with the NIL deals. Let's listen in on that comment as well.
As a student and as a player, which is what we've always tried to major in, and we're going to continue to do that, and hopefully there's enough people out there that want to do it. But I know the consequence is going to be difficult for the people who are spending tons of money to get players. And you've read about them. You know who they are. I mean, we were second in recruiting last year. A&M was first. A&M bought every player on their team, made a deal for name, image, and likeness. All right, we didn't buy one player. All right, but I don't know if we're going to be able to sustain that in the future because more and more people are doing it. Yeah. So it's tough, and people blame the NCAA. But in defense of the NCAA, we are where we are, all right, because of the litigation that the NCAA gets, like the transfer portal. Every time somebody wanted to transfer, they'd apply for a waiver. All right, if the NCAA didn't give them a waiver so they could be immediately eligible, they filed suit. So the NCAA would back off and give them a waiver. So they just said, we're just going to make a rule where everybody can transfer. That's how that happened. So if the NCAA doesn't get some protection from litigation, whether we got to get an antitrust or whatever it is, from a federal government standpoint, this is not going to change because they cannot enforce their rules.
And of course, he later apologized or whatnot, but at the end of the day, the damage was done. And so he is upset. It's starting to get to him because now he would no longer just be the only coach that have great players or have an opportunity to get the cream of the crop. Now, all other coaches have the same opportunity now. Why? Because they have made themselves very attractive with NIL deals and things like that. And now that the transfer portal is available too. And so like he's kind of losing it in a sense. And so he wants his voice to be heard. And it is a free agency for college football. And my message to Nick Saban is, well, welcome to the new world order. This is the new thing. This is the new way of life. So you got to get on board if you want to stay in competition. Coach Saban, how many years have players dealt with the fact that college coaches moving from job to job and things of that nature because it's a better opportunity for them, right? In some instances, some players come in and they have a new running back coach, they have a new position coach or whatnot, didn't see it coming, and then they're moving from job to job in the college world. Why? Because it's a better opportunity for them. So what's wrong with the players taking advantage of the actual transfer portal now? I mean, I get what you're saying. I mean, we're sending the wrong message and it's making it easier for kids. You know, it gets a little tough or they don't like a college or whatnot. They can jump into a portal and move to another college or whatnot. But at the same time, I think it's good because there are a lot of things that happen at the college level where kids are not happy or where the athlete is not happy or they just don't mesh well with that particular program. And then they're stuck and they got to stick it out, but not anymore. So they have that one time waiver where they can become available athletically to participate immediately. So the transfer portal has been updated. So there's no difference from college coaches moving from job to job because it's a better opportunity for them. Well, the transfer portal is a better opportunity for the college players, and the NIL deals is a better opportunity as well because guess what? Look at all the money that college football makes. I did a video on that some time ago, but it is a multi-billion-dollar industry, especially when it gets to the bowl games, right? It is crazy. All of the money that they're actually bringing into these colleges, and they're not getting anything but a scholarship, right? And don't get me wrong, we appreciate that, but there are jerseys that are being sold, tickets that are being sold. I mean, it's video games and all this. I mean, it's crazy. And they're not getting anything for that. Well, now that is changing. Now they can get a piece of the pie. There is nothing wrong with that. There is nothing that's wrong with that. So I you're going to have to find a way to suck it up because, it's going to make college football even more competitive. It's not going to be a situation where one team is just dominant now because everybody has an opportunity to get the cream of the crop like Alabama was doing. So, hey, but it's been fun to see, though, and it's been quite entertaining. But it's sending a message because obviously somebody's not on the same page. You got the NCAA, the council doing their thing, and Coach Nick Saban feels this way, and he feels like they're not listening to him. So he's going to make some noise another way, but he's bringing a lot of heat to himself because the Texas A&M coach is firing back, and he said this.
Coach, I'd like to respond to some comments made last night in Alabama.
Yes, I would. First of all, I'll say it's a shame that we have to do this. It's really despicable. It's despicable that somebody can say things about somebody and an organization. More importantly, 17-year-old kids. You're taking shots at 17-year-old kids and their families. And they broke state laws. They're all money. We bought every player on this group. We never bought anybody. No rules were broken. Nothing was done wrong. It was all in the way we do things, the ethics in which we do things. And these families, it's despicable that a reputable head coach could come out and say this when he doesn't get his way or things don't go his way. The narcissist in him doesn't allow those things to happen, and it's ridiculous. But when he's not on top, and the parity in college football he's been talking about, go talk to coaches who coach for him. You'll find out all the parity. Go dig into wherever he's been. You can find out anything. And it's a shame that you got to sit here and defend 17-year-old kids and families and Texas A&M because we do things right. We're always going to do things right. But we're always going to be here. We're doing a heck of a job. These coaches have done a great job.
So I think Coach Nick Saban, you might want to pipe down before they start digging through your past and seeing what you've done, because according to what he was saying, you're not all clean neither. My only trepidation about the whole transfer portal thing is that it has definitely affected high school recruiting. In fact, there are articles out there that's talking about how the transfer portal is affecting high school recruiting as well. It's going to definitely behoove high school players to jump on the bandwagon and to really, really do their research. If you got schools that are interested in you, don't try to wait and build your offers and wait till you get 10, 15 offers. I'm blessed to receive, I'm blessed to receive, I'm blessed to receive, this offer and that offer or whatnot. get with the school, start doing your homework, start visiting these schools to see if it's a great fit for you. And if you find a school that is a great fit for you and they want you and they want to give you that head count scholarship or the equivalency scholarship or whatnot, take advantage of that. Get solidified and then go in there, get your experience, get your reps in, right? And do your best and stand out or whatnot, and then put yourself in a position, because if it's not a situation that you like, or if you don't feel comfortable in that situation, then what you can do is take advantage of the actual transfer portal. So you may not have been able to get the offer that you wanted when you was in high school, but that doesn't mean it's over. If you get to a college and if it's not what you thought it was, or even if it was, and if it was a good experience, but now you want to play on a bigger stage or whatnot, you have an opportunity to jump into the actual portal and take advantage of that, right? And if you are good, and if you're a dog like you say that you are, and like you believe that you are, then when you jump into the portal, then the other colleges will see that, right? And they will take advantage of that. So it's not all over for high school recruiting, and I want to make myself clear. It is an actual good thing. I said this before. This is going to tell a lot about the coaches and what type of connections that high school coaches have. I've been seeing in Michigan alone that there have been a lot of combines that were put on within the past couple of weeks, and you got 60 plus coaches going out to these particular college coaches that are going out to these particular schools looking to recruit and offer the future class. So it's not all over. But you have the transfer portal working on your side as well if you don't get the offer that you wanted. And if you end up at a school and it's not working out for you. But if you find a good situation and you're comfortable and the coaches are living out to what they sold you in the beginning and it's coming to pass, that is a good situation and you want to take advantage of that. All right. So I thought it would. So that's all I wanted to hop on and talk about. I had to hit Nick Saban. I had to hit on that, and I had to just bring some clarity to the conversation that we were having on last week and finishing it out. But it is a lot of stuff that's happening in the college football world. I'm super excited. Make sure that you're paying attention. Make sure that you're subscribing to the channel and staying in contact with me, because there's nobody that's bringing you the recruiting information like me. If you want to know more about recruiting and what it's like on the inside, make sure that you tap in with your boy, Sports Dad Seth. I'm out of here. There you have it, folks. Another great recruiting session in the books. Definitely there were some huge nuggets that were dropped, and hopefully you're walking away with something tangible. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and make sure you hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when we post new information. And also, too, if you want to support the channel financially, be sure to send all donations to $SportsDadCEPH, and that's also on my YouTube platform as well. Make sure that you stay tapped in. And until next time, I'm out.